So welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube video. You're here with host GBHL Damian, and this is my hobby vlog number 45. And you can already see before you what I'm going to be concentrating here, it is my Iron Hills dwarves. So I came back from Ardacon with all the goodies. You've already seen me and Dave unboxing Dane, and you saw James and Jamie unboxing the Iron Hill Warriors. I think there was a fair few people who got these bits and bobs at Ardacon. It was awesome at GW to be there and pre-release and everything. And like so many other people on the group, I was immediately keen to get stuck straight into this. You'll see lurking around the back here the half-finished Forgotten Dungeon bases, which were supposed to be home to my poor put-upon Hunter Orcs on Fel Warg, but they have gone right out the window, I'm afraid. I just couldn't resist getting started on these brand new models. I think I've said it before, that since The Hobbit came out, I haven't been working on any of the new releases as they came out, so I was really excited to kind of clear my schedule, as it were, and just get on with these. Now, I've already been amazed at how prolific some people have been, like I think Will and Nathan at least have already painted some of these guys, and I envy them how much hobby time they have and how prolific they are, but not for me. But I did manage to make a fair start on assembling them over the weekend, so I thought I'd have another good close-up look at these guys. As you can see, I've not quite done the last. Oh, you can't see. Sorry, I've not quite done the last 4 Iron Hills dwarfs. So that's actually on the list of to-do jobs for tomorrow. But I will show you what I have completed in some detail, and you get to see the kind of finished poses, as it were. First things first, hugely impressed by them, all of them. The models are gorgeous, and I'm going to be banging on about mould lines a fair bit as I go on in this, but I've been so impressed by the quality of the sculpts. They're just gorgeous to get in the hand. So shall we start with the big man himself? It is Dane. So here is Dane, complete on his rocket sausage. There he is. Let's take a nice big close-up look at him. So Dane comes in a number of parts. The scenic base, obviously, which I have chosen to put him on, is one part around there. The pig himself is another part, but this piece here, this headpiece, glues on. You can hopefully see already there is no need to green stuff anything there at all. The fit is absolutely perfect. And I'm comparing this, obviously I'm comparing it to fine cast, but I'm also comparing it to metal. And any of you who've assembled a kind of one of the wizards, Gandalf on horse or Sauron on horse, will know that the kind of mounted metal models from back in the day can still be an absolute pig to assemble, but not in this case. His tail's another bit. I fear for that tail over the course of his career, but it's all right for now. And I saw someone said they pinned this tail. I don't know. I couldn't even see where to pin that, let alone have a drill bit small enough. But anyway, Dane's then obviously a separate part, and he's slotted right on. And again, if you just have a look at that, where he fits on, you can almost not even tell that it's not one piece, but he's been dropped onto there. You can kind of see a little gap in there, but anything there is will easily not need to be filled, I think. So he fits on top. And the bit I was perhaps most impressed by was the back of the cloak. So I don't know if you can even see it there, but essentially along this line here, this is a join. So this piece here is another piece of the cloak, and as you see, it's just absolutely perfect the way it slots in. It's incredible. There's potential, it's not even really showing up on the camera, but there's potential I might put a tiny little bit of liquid green stuff in there, but I really don't think it needs it. It's just absolutely amazing the way they've used the kind of added breadth, I guess, of his shoulder armour here to make it, to cover the joint. It's just incredible. Be careful when you take him off the sprue. This part of his arm is attached to the cloak, and I reckon it could be very, very easy to think that was one of these bits from a sprue and cut it off, so be very, very careful with that. His hand holding the hammer is separate, and then slightly surprisingly I thought one of these hammer ends is separate. You have to glue the left or right bit on there, and finally the crest on his helmet is separate. But there we go, that is him assembled, and as you can see, the tusks, which I was really kind of worried about, have all been preserved. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a gorgeous sculpt, and it's gone together in, so what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9. People like me counting on the channel? Comment below if you want to see more Damian counts along videos. 9 parts, and I don't think it requires any green stuffing at all, which is quite spectacular. But he's absolutely gorgeous. Thoroughly impressed with this, and I can't wait to get started on it. So there's Dane. And then actually, in a crazy way, as cool as the pig is, I'm almost more impressed by the foot version, which is the first model they ever showed for the new range, way back at was it Throwing Skulls, when he didn't have hands, and it is just absolutely stunning. I can't get over how good, particularly the face is on this. Keith Robertson has done an incredible job on this model. Absolutely gorgeous. Tons and tons of details. Again, the tusks, the kind of moustache tusks, just look awesome on it. Really great. And this model comes as the base part with his discarded helmet down there, the main body, the hands holding the hammer, and again one of these bits here. So a few parts there, but again very little joins. The kits, I've been so impressed. I know they say it is resin, so you can still bend it back, but I haven't had to bend any of this stuff for Forge Worlds. It's all just slotted in brilliantly. I'm so impressed. And this was the first model where I really noticed, I don't think there was a single mould line on Dane at all, which is marvellous. There was a mould line like on the hammer down here, along here, which is kind of what you expect, obviously. I had to clean up, but Dane himself, I don't know where it is or how they've hidden it with the edges of the cast, but there was no mould line, and I absolutely despise cleaning models up. I hate it. And so having models without mould lines is just spectacular for me. And I know some people have kind of thought the prices are a bit steep, but honestly, for me, the added time and stress of not having to clean these models up in the same way you did with Finecast is incredible. Give you some idea, the Gundabad Orcs, to cut all the rivets off, rebend them, and get rid of all the mould lines and everything, they were taking me half an hour a model. The Iron Hills Dwarves took me 10 minutes. So that's a bit of a spoiler that I don't think there's many mould lines on them either. But there he is, absolutely stunning. Gorgeous stuff. So next up we'll have the blister. We've got the 4 crew of Iron Hills Dwarves. This is the captain. Really cool stuff. I've glued them to these bases at the moment. I'm going to do them in the same way I did with my Gundabads. These are going to end up on Generation Shift Raven Outpost bases, but I'm going to be doing the kind of base colours and everything on these bases so they don't mess up the kind of painted Ravenhill ones. Awesome model, really cool. And could also, there's been some chat about him standing in as an Iron Hills captain until that model comes out. So he's very cool. He was the one-piece one, I think. Lovely. And again, no mould line. What they tend to have, I've noticed that the dwarfs might have a bit of a mould line on their boots and on their legs, but the bodies up here and the armour, there's just nothing. It's absolutely amazing. I'll look at the other 3 crew. This dude, he had an arm to glue on, and he's one of the ones who stands on the blister. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to glue him onto the blister. I don't particularly care about in-game play. If I use it in a game, I'm just going to put 2 bases on the table. I want this, as far as I can see it, because this model is a lot of money, it's an investment, and I want it to look as cool as possible, so these guys are being glued onto it. Really good. And the last dude here, really kind of cool, dynamic models. Hopefully you see in the faces, the level of detail is just awesome. Now finally we get onto the big blister itself, and this is just hella cool. And I haven't actually, as you can probably see, I haven't glued it together because I've decided that this bit should come off for painting. I think that bit's going to be a hell of a lot easier to paint with this bit off. So I've put that, so I've taken it off. It just slots into there, he says, and goes up there. There you go. And it's incredibly cool. Same thing with this, I've taken this off the actual twirly whirly so that I can paint it separately. It's a blister, huge chunk of resin. Very cool kit. This had mould lines down the various edges, required a bit of tidying up, but you can kind of forgive it because it's only one kit. I never really minded when it was single heroes or single monsters or anything, because you only ever do it once. It's when you have to spend hours and hours cleaning up regular infantry. It used to drive me insane. So very cool. I haven't actually worked out how to paint this. It might sound crazy, but I'm trying to think about it. How do you paint this to keep your hands off it? you could pin it to a cork or something, but then you still need to paint this bit. And do you hold the wheels? Do you maybe do the wheels last and paint all this stuff? And I haven't really thought about that really. Maybe paint all this, then put a cork on it, and then do the wheels. Not really too sure. But lovely, lovely, lovely piece of kit. Good look at all those bits there. Really, really nice. The one trouble I did have with it was the ropes. These ropes along here. Just be very, very careful. They are incredibly fragile when you assemble them. And both of mine split actually. Yeah, sorry about that. I got disturbed by a wife ringing. So I was talking about this. I was talking about the these little ropes and how they snapped essentially. And you just have to be very careful because they're very, very thin. And what I found was that this join here, you have to this piece here bends round and then joins in here. And when I glued these two pieces onto this first, and then found that the gap between here and here was longer than the rope. Now I'm not sure what the solution is to that, whether you need to, in the first instance, bend these pieces with a bit of hot water so they kind of curl around a bit more. But as it was, and now it's James Long. I'll be back soon. Sorry, I just seem to be so gosh darn popular today. So what it actually meant was when I was gluing this, I was attaching this bit to here with actually quite a lot of pressure, kind of pulling it around. And it was just a big faff, and I could have been doing it wrong. I've definitely glued it in the right place, which is into this little hole here. But I think maybe you might have to just dry fit it first. But it's quite fiddly because it's one of those things, almost like if you've ever assembled the Legolas with Orcris, you're gluing 3 joints at the same time. You almost need to glue this, this, and this all at the same time, which is obviously very tricky. But you can see it worst over here, where basically I was getting so frustrated with it that I ended up having to I had to pour a little bit of water on it, which kind of makes it dry quicker and makes it set. You can see it's just kind of made this as it does if you put water on super glue, this bit of a blotchy thing. So I'm just going to try and ever so gently tidy that up. It's not the end of the world. It'll be easy to cover up with a paint job. But just when you're assembling your blisters, be a bit careful with that area because it's a bit fiddly. But there we go. So I'll pop that back on. Pop you back in here. As Adam would say. Pop that in there. And there is the Iron Hills blister, and it's gorgeous. And so, lastly, we'll move on to the dwarfs. I'll just show you these. I was absolutely stunned by how good these dwarfs are in the hand. They're absolutely gorgeous. And again, like I said for Dane, no mould lines. There are no mould lines like above the chainmail essentially. All the armour and heads and shields, there's nothing damaged by a mould line running down the face or anything. It's fantastic. All you have, in fact, if I show you, is you'll have a couple of these little rivets like this bit here to snip off. There's one there, there's one under there, and that is about it. They're absolutely stunning. They're a joy to put together. They come as a body, a shield arm, and a spear. These really cool poses as they're going to rank up. And what's even cooler is the way they click together. It's just wonderful. The way the parts are kind of cut up is that they slot together. They feel really natural. You're never ever worried that you're putting the part in the wrong place. There's even, if we can show you on assembled ones, has there either of these got it? No, damn it, they don't. But basically, some of them have. For the crouch ones, they have a little groove along here, so you actually line the sword up not just with the wrist but also along here, making them really, really easy to get to. So here's another one. Absolutely gorgeous models, really, really beautiful. Loved them, and they just feel great in the hand. They feel very, very solid. It's my first experience of working with Forge World resin, and I've just been absolutely blown away by how good it is. In terms of, obviously, the Iron Hills Dwarves Warriors are £3.70 a model instead of £5 for fine cast, so they're not only are they better, but they're cheaper than the recent late 10 heroes. But in terms of someone like Dane, just the Encroute and the Ballista, the improvements in the material are just so worth the price. These guys I have to be a bit tricky with because obviously I'm going to be rebasing them, so I have to make sure that the base isn't glued to the shield isn't glued to the base. So the shield is glued here to the foot, and around here onto the arm. I just had to be careful of that so I could get them off the base to put them on the generation shift base. But how cool are these models? I mean, look at them. Just such a cool pose. There he is. BARUK KHAZAD! And so forth. And then there's 4 of them here. And I think, as James and Jamie said, they are all unique. They're all subtly different. All ranked up in a kind of regimental pose. But all subtly different. And they're just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I love them. Look at that crispness of detail on that. So I'll be absolutely going to town with these on the paint job. We know where I'll be rushing through these. I'll be painting them tediously slowly, I'm sure. But I also feel like I've put a lot of time into my Workwood Owls, and I've put a lot of time into my Gundabads. And I need these to be up there and kind of sit alongside them on the battlefield, as it were. So there we go. There's the 8 of them, and you can sort of see how they start to make their shield wall. Sort of stuff. Very, very cool. So that's what I've been doing. As I said, I've got 4 left to go. So that's probably about an hour's work tops to clean these guys up, and I'm going to get them undercoated hopefully tomorrow. If you're not keeping up, I'm actually recording this on Monday. It's Halloween, and I'll be getting these undercoated this week, and I'm hoping I've got a fair bit of hobby time on my own on Friday night and Saturday. Before the Fireworks in Riverstead tournament, and I'm hoping to basically get a lot of painting done there, and I will get started on something. As of yet, I don't know what to do. I'm either going to get started on Dane on the Boar or basically eight Iron Hills Dwarves Warriors. I don't know which to do. Maybe if you comment below, let me know which one you think I should do, and I'll get that one done. But there we go. So kind of a combination of hobby vlog of what I've been doing, but also a bit more of a close-up look at all the Iron Hill Dwarfs. I hope you've enjoyed that, and it's given you some sort of insight into that for anyone who's not seen enough of these dwarfs. But yeah, you can look out certainly over the next sort of month, 6 weeks for a lot of Iron Hills Dwarfs action from me. I've also got another 12 Iron Hills Dwarfs Warriors. I'm not sure when I'm going to paint them. I'm going to get this lot done as a kind of batch, one big warband. Now I'll have to see if I want to do them or if I want to have a break and maybe get those Hunter Orcs done. But there we go. That's what I've been up to. I'm very, very excited about my hobby at the moment. Until next time, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Support your Hobbit host by clicking in the links below. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Support your Hobbit hobby and happy strategy battle game. Oh, and there was just one more thing. Happy Halloween!